to FNaF News. I'm your host, the TNT Muffin. Today we're going to be talking about the FNaF movie, Security Breach, Youtooz, Funko, and more. So starting off with the movie news, I've got to say pretty much all of the stuff here for the movie is leaks, so if you would like to avoid spoilers, you can skip to this time. So starting off with the movie news, we have some leaks from Slender on Twitter, who has said Ember Leak, the FNaF Five Nights at Freddy's movie doesn't take place in the 80s, only flashbacks. Most of the movie will take place after the restaurant is already run down. So this does pretty much confirm that what we have seen before of the FNaF pizzeria being all covered in vines, run down, closed down, that is when the movie is going to take place for most of the movie, and there are just going to be flashbacks for when it's all nice and new. They have also said that Raphael will appear in a training video for the restaurant that is shown during a flashback. It features a woman talking about how to operate the suits. For most of the film, the animatronics are worn down and scary looking. We only see them in the good condition during flashbacks. So like I said in the previous leak, most of this movie is going to be taking place basically in the 90s, we assume, and there are going to be flashbacks in the 80s. So most of the movie, the animatronics are going to be pretty scary and broken looking, which basically makes sense because of that teaser we saw before with Freddy and the broken ear. The big thing here though is that it says Raphael, who is Raphael Luce, which was an actor in Stranger Things, is going to be in a training video showing how to operate the suits. So that's a bit interesting. Are they talking about spring lock suits? Because like, why would you need to operate a suit? It's just a suit, you put it on, that's it, right? Unless they're talking about spring lock suits, and it's like FNaF 3, when the phone guy's like, here's our thing, you know, don't get spring locked, you know? Like, that makes the most sense, and there's actually something else that comes on later, which kind of brings us towards this idea a little bit more, and it's kind of the craziest thing. Stay tuned for that, because we have another leak first from Slender, which is other FNaF leaks. The animatronics are one-to-one recreations. There are shots in the movie that recreate the shots from the games, from the camera. So basically, the animatronics in the movie look exactly like they did in FNaF 1, and there are going to be shots in the movie that are basically just exactly what they were on the cameras in FNaF 1, which sounds really cool. So that's all from that person on Twitter, but this next leak, you know, like I said, is pretty crazy, which is that Wyatt Parker is going to be playing a character in the movie called Young Mike. Now, with what I said before about there being training videos, there's a young version of Michael Afton, and also the leak that we saw in a different video of that pizzeria, which looked pretty purple. The floor looked just like Fredbear's Family Diner. Are we gonna be getting, like, the bite of 83? I mean, we have a character, Garrett, that he looks very much like the crying child. So if we're having stuff that kind of points towards there maybe being Fredbears, we have somebody that looks like the crying child, we've got a young Mike, there's training videos, which are probably about the springlock suits, I assume. I could totally see that happening, and sounds like a scene that would totally have in a movie. The first one, I'm not too sure. Like, I've been saying pretty much with all these leaks we've been getting, I don't think they're gonna have the bite of 83 in the first movie. They surely wouldn't do FNaF 4 stuff in the first movie. But, it's seeming honestly kind of possible. Now, definitely not confirmed, this is all speculation, but we've got a few things here that kind of point towards it, and if that is happening, that would be so cool. So this next piece of movie news is something you might have heard before, but basically an extra on the movie said that on set, the movie was said to be PG-13, so it's pretty likely it's going to be PG-13, the movie. That's what I expected. I mean, I was pretty sure they wouldn't make it rated R. We know most of the FNaF fan base, or at least a lot of it, is kids. I'm sure a lot of you guys are, so I'm not surprised that it's going to be PG-13. They want to appeal to a really wide audience, so it makes sense. But that doesn't mean it's going to be a bad movie necessarily. It just means maybe not that much gore and, you know, not much swearing. But it could still be scary. Next up is the Funko news. Funko has actually revealed their new line of Snaps figures, which has Glamrock Freddy here. It's got two faceplates, which are, you know, just the generic faces changing. I think he looks pretty good. Then there's going to be a shoe set, which has Glamrock Chica and Montgomery Gator. These ones are pretty cool because the face plates, as you can see on Glamrock Chica, is the shattered version, and then same with Monty, the shattered Monty face, and I like that. I think those two figures look super cool. And then there's going to be the Vanny figure, which you can see one of the face plates is just a little bit glitchy, and then the inside of the mask is actually Vanessa, which I'm glad that they did that. Vanessa looks like she got shot. It's a bit strange it comes with a pizza cutter, because Vanny is always shown with a knife. I mean, not in the game. I don't think Vanny ever had a knife in the game. But for advertising, Vanny has always had a knife. Not sure why they've got a pizza cutter in this, but it doesn't really matter. And then there are the 3 play sets, which are cool yet disappointing, because there's the Glamrock Freddy Green Room play set, which is pretty sweet, you know? Glamrock Freddy. You may be wondering, why does he have Glamrock Freddy in it? Isn't that a separate figure you can get? And yes, because this isn't just Glamrock Freddy, this is Blacklight Glamrock Freddy, and he looks almost exactly the same as the normal one. So that's pretty disappointing, but the inside of the room looks super sweet. I mean, if you don't care about having the regular version, I guess you could just buy this one and have the Blacklight one, which is just slightly differently colored. And then the next playset is going to be Monty's room, which is Monty's room. It's got Montgomery Gator inside of it. It's got all the cool detailing. I think these sets look pretty sweet. And again, it's got a Blacklight version of Monty in it, which just looks like Monty. It's really weird that it's not different colors, it's just the same guy. The thing that's weirder is it kind of seems like he doesn't come with the guitar, because if we go back to the Glamrock Freddy one, he does come with his mic stand. So I don't know why this dude doesn't come with his guitar, but that's fine. And then the final playset is Vanessa in front of this door. You can see there's the flashlight recharge in the back, which I think is pretty cool. And this Vanessa one comes with a Vanessa figure. And this one's pretty funny, because if you take off the faceplate, it's just got a skull underneath, which makes sense. Looks like when she got shot before, it went all the way through her skull. But yeah, I think all of these figures look pretty sweet, and actually, as you can see in this image, it appears that along with these figures and playsets, they're going to be releasing that little holder, the Snaps carrying case, which looks like Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. It didn't come out before, we were kind of confused on where that went. It seems like it's going to be coming now, and you can actually see there's an image of it being opened up. There's just little slots where you can put the figures or the face plates. Unfortunately, there's not like a cool set inside, but I mean, it is just a carrying case after all. So yeah, I think that's very cool. I love these Snaps figures. They all look so accurate to the Security Breach characters, and I'm pretty excited for them, honestly. It just is very unfortunate that we got 2 Blacklights instead of giving us Roxanne. Where is she? While we're on the topic of merchandise, Youtooz has actually released on their TikTok a video showing that there's going to be an Ennard plushie. Now, this, you might have already seen it before because this news came out a little bit ago, but the Ennard plushie, I mean, I think it looks pretty good. The face, at least, looks great. I think it looks way better than Funko's head. The inside of the eye is actually super detailed. It's got all the detailing on him. He's got a nice little plastic nose, and I think his hat looks pretty sweet as well. The unfortunate thing is, if you look down a little bit, he's like, he kind of looks like a Demogorgon, honestly. I don't know what's up with all the Stranger Things in this video, but Ennard there. Overall though, I think it is a pretty cool looking plushie, and if you want, you can just cut off the head and put it on Funko's Ennard plush. Now, we actually do have some new Youtooz news, but first of all, in the background of this video, you could see there's a Glitchtrap plushie, which is awesome. This is Glitchtrap's first plushie. For some reason, Glitchtrap has like no merch, which is weird because he's a very popular character. But the Glitchtrap plush is in the back there, and I think it looks really good, honestly. I really like that plush. It is pretty blurry. We don't get to see all the detailing, but it's good enough that we can make out what it's going to look like. And then the other thing is that there is a Helpy plush in this video, which we actually have gotten a new image of here, which is a way higher quality thing. I think the face on this guy looks super good. Nothing on him is printed on at all, and he's got a lot of detailing. I really like his mouth and his eyes. The interesting thing about this guy, though, is, like I saw in that other image, he's, like, laying down. He looks like a pillow pet. I don't know why. Maybe it's some other type of new Youtooz plush, but Helpy's, for some reason, just straight out like a Superman pose which is weird because he's never seen like that in FNaF, so it must be some new type of product, unless they just decided to make Helpy laying down for some reason. Either way though, I think it's a pretty cool looking plush, and I'm excited to see Glitchtrap in high resolution. Continuing with the plush news, we've gotten an image here actually, I believe in one of Doggo's videos, showing that there is this golden Spring Bonnie plush, as well as Freddy next to him. I don't know what this dude is, like, is it a special limited time Spring Bonnie that they're going to be releasing, or what? Because we already have the Spring Bonnie plush, and Hex, I believe, has said that they're just going to continue restocking. So there's not really any reason to release a second version of it, like, in case people missed it, because people can still get it. So, is this going to be some special limited time thing? I'm not really sure. I hope it's not like Gold Chrome Freddy, because Hex plushies are very expensive, and I don't want to have to spend $50 on him. Speaking of which, maybe we don't have to spend $50 on him, because Hex actually made a tweet saying the magnetless sitting Hex plushies are almost ready. Stay tuned. I actually didn't notice until now that it says sitting Hex plushies. What does that mean? I mean, maybe they're just gonna be sitting. And yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. If we go back to that other image there, these two guys are sitting down, and I assume they're both magnetless. So I guess in the near future, we're gonna be able to get Freddy and a golden version of Spring Bonnie. Very excited for this. I really hope they make magnetless versions of all of the plushies, because I really want Pop Goes and candy, and I really don't want to spend $50 each on them. But I'm excited for this. Hex plushies, so expensive. They are finally making them cheaper. I hope they're cheaper. I hope they're cheaper by a lot. And then next up is the security breach news, which is actually pretty exciting for any of you Nintendo fans, because Security Breach has actually just been released on the Nintendo Switch eShop. Of course, the graphics aren't as good as PC, but honestly, they don't look bad either. If you weren't able to play Security Breach on any other console or PC, this must be pretty cool. You can finally play Security Breach. I think it's a really fun game. If you're a big FNaF fan, I recommend it. I'm actually pretty surprised by this, because Security Breach just got announced for Switch, so having it already come out is pretty cool. But yeah, Security Breach on Switch. If you're not able to play Security Breach on PC or console, you can play on console now. But that is all the news we have today. If you want to subscribe, you can click the button on top of my head. If you want to watch one of my last news videos, you can click the button over there. And if you want to see some other video I made, you can click that button over there. And I'll see you when we get some more news on the FNaF movie.